9:33, everybody, and just before going off to college, Jake decides to take a spur-of-the-moment road trip with a friend who's heading 3,000 miles from home.
Oh, sounds totally safe.
Yeah.
Fine, right? Let's just say his father is not too happy about that decision.
Yes, Dad, I'm fine. What? No, I will be back in a few days, okay? No, Dad, I'm not turning around. Okay, so it's my fault that Mom is freaking out? Okay, well, this is the last... No, this is not TJ's fault. Okay, Dad, this is the last summer before college. And for once in my life, I want to do something for myself. Dad, I have to go, okay?
And then the next phone call is, see, Dad, what had happened was... Okay, that is a peek of the new film, What We Find on the Road. And having that very familiar conversation with a parent is an actor who has performed on Broadway in Matilda and starred as young Ghost in the hit Power series. Please welcome William Chris Sumpter.
What's happening?
Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, good to have you.
Great to see you in person. I was trying to get some information about the Power series from you, but you're very tight-lipped.
Yes, I am very tight-lipped.
Just like a young ghost.
Yes.
But let's talk about your character, Jake, and that conversation. Set us up on this epic road trip as he's selling to his dad.
Yeah, okay, so my character, Jake, he essentially decides to go on this road trip because he sees his best friend get this key for his 18th birthday, and he's like, dude, I'm going with you. I think you're gonna go make a fool of yourself. I've gotta go see this. So like me, he's kind of all about the drama. That scene that we actually just watched was completely improvised.
Really?
Yeah, they pulled over one day, we had like 5 minutes left of filming, and they were like, I'm gonna need you to just like talk to your dad, make up some lines on the phone. So that's what we just watched. So watching that scene is kind of funny for me.
Where were you pulling from? Was that like a real conversation?
Yeah, I'm always doing that to my parents. I'm always going on a road trip and being like, hey guys, I'll see you in 5 days.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a bit of like a mysterious road trip, right?
Yeah, there's this element of a steel box in the trunk of the car, right? That the boys are driving across America with. And Jake, being a black man in America, that steel box means something different for him than it means for his best friend. And I think we get to watch that dynamic kind of play out on screen.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So clearly you're used to having some uncomfortable conversations with your parents. You're obviously a great deal maker, clearly hearing that conversation. What is the longest road trip you yourself have ever been on?
Ooh, outside of filming this.
Yes.
Outside of filming this, I would say it was maybe like a 2-day trip to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
I kind of pulled the same thing Jake did. I was like, guys, I'll see you in a few days. My friend's got a car. I'm gonna hop in that.
And you drove up to Niagara Falls.
And we drove to Niagara Falls.
That's a far drive. I did that drive.
It's a beautiful drive.
Oh. I was sleeping.
He's the passenger
I hopped in the
princess.
car and didn't do this.
Yeah,
I was in the back sleeping. Like, I worked this morning. I'll be in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
His eye mask on. Now that you say that you made the reference of in the movie or in real life, how much driving did you actually do in the movie?
Okay, so at the time, I couldn't drive when I booked this film.
Okay.
It was a big thing for me. I was like, hey guys, I gotta learn how to drive a car.
Yeah.
I get to set the first day. It's this beautiful 1967 Polera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, how am I gonna do this? I think I hit about 2 mailboxes, and then I was great. And then I was just fantastic.
Wait, do you have your license now?
I do, yeah.
There you go.
I had to get it for that.
Where were you driving through? Like, where is this filmed?
We drove through a few states. I remember we passed through Tennessee at some point.
Oh, wow.
I left the trip in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
So that's where I checked out. But yeah, we drove all the way through there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, what do you got? What's the longest road trip you've been on?
North Carolina.
Ooh.
Florida, actually.
To Florida, that's it.
Florida.
I did that drive too. That's
I
a long drive.
actually helped out and I participated with that one. So I didn't leave the driver hanging there.
Yeah, okay, good.
Like me. Sorry. It's a longer drive. I wouldn't even if I was going to Florida.
Okay. So you've been in so many things. You have a very long Broadway roster. Tell us about the transition and how that was, like being on stage and now you are on the screen.
Yeah, I think it's a totally different thing. I'd say the biggest difference for me is the audience. I grew up doing theater, and so I was used to making a mistake and just kind of powering through. The ceiling could fall down while you're doing a Broadway show, and you'll still go. The difference is that when you're on a set for a Netflix series, a tiny hair of a thing goes wrong and everything stops. So I think there's something about that live, raw element of
Yeah.
theater that I always really enjoyed, but there's something about the perfectionistic part of me that I get to really bring out in film.
Yeah.
Do you want to get back to it? You want to get back to theater?
I think at some point, yeah, I'm looking to get into plays. That's on my mind.
Ooh, a little more of a drama, comedy? What do we want to do?
I'm thinking a love interest. I've got a role in mind. I'm not allowed to say much about it right now.
Does it exist already, or this is a new
It does
show?
exist
Okay.
already, and I have been cast in it.
Oh.
Okay.
So you're gonna be grown.
Yeah.
You'll be grown.
It will be a grown role for me.
There we go.
Yeah, which is good for me. It's out of my box.
Well,
yeah.
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 What is it like, though, speaking of that, like auditioning as a child?
Yeah. I would say auditioning as a child, I mean, you hear a lot of no's, right?
Yeah.
So you get used to just not the silver spoon. You know, acting is not the industry to go into if you are not ready to hear no.
Yeah.
So I got really used to that, and I think it built some tough skin on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can you like talk to my daughter because she doesn't understand the word no?
Of course.
As adults,
No.
it's still tough. It's tough
Right.
hearing now.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
exactly.
course.
So yeah, so we want to see you back, all right, on Broadway. Do something. As
Absolutely.
An adult, all right?
I hope
Great.
to.
Let's talk about the
Get you
film.
tickets.
Film is out when?
The film is out
Okay.
on streaming services now.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good. We need something to
All
watch this
digital
weekend.
platforms.
Absolutely.
Check it out.
Absolutely.
Great seeing you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah,
Keep
thank
us
you for having
posted
me.
on what's next. That grown role.
I will.
Come and debut it here.
It's a
I'll give
nice
you some
jacket, too.
secrets.
I like this jacket.
Do you want it? You want the
Like
jacket?
the
Look at
jacket?
the jacket. It's a good jacket.
I'll get you one.